And hey everyone, my name is Jonathan and I'm the CEO and co-founder of DataCamp. Today is a really special day for us at DataCamp Radar. But before we begin today's events, I want to share a bit about the motivation behind DataCamp Radar, why we're focusing on AI, and what to expect over the next 2 days. Generative AI has taken the world by storm, and we're in the midst of a major hype cycle. However, if we take a step back here, we believe we're at the precipice of something quite important. So what I'm going to focus on here are 3 main developments we're seeing in AI. Number 1, we're going to talk about the adoption of AI in the enterprise. Number 2, how models of different types are becoming more and more powerful and more widely available. And number 3, last but not least, the skills agenda and how organizations and individuals will need to evolve to meet this moment. But let's start with how AI is being adopted in the enterprise. When ChatGPT was released in November of 2022, it pushed every single leader within their organizations to rethink the art of the possible with AI. So it's no surprise that more than a year and a half into this, organizations of all types and sizes are trying to drive value with Gen AI. And to help illustrate this point, let's look at the adoption as 2 concentric circles. In the outer circle, there's the grassroots adoption of Gen AI tools at work. So examples of this are tools like ChatGPT, Google Gemini, our own DataCamp DataLab, or Midjourney. Those are tools to get work done. And then in the inner circle, there are AI use cases in production. For example, this could be a team of data scientists and engineers building something like a chatbot on your site, or a bespoke solution to automate a business process. Now let's focus on that outer circle first. According to Salesforce, 61% of white-collar workers use Gen AI in the workplace. And more importantly, these workers report that Gen AI saves them an average of 5 hours per week. A similar study by Harvard Business Review found that management consultants who have access to GPT-4, they can increase their productivity by 12%, they can increase the speed of execution by 25%, and the quality by 40%. So even though this is a relatively nascent space, the data on the impacts of Gen AI on productivity is already in. And overwhelmingly, the data points to massive increases in productivity and quality of work. That said, there are numerous challenges associated with the adoption of AI at work. And these challenges include the risk of hallucination and incorrect output, ethical use of Gen AI, data privacy risks, and the proliferation of unchecked Gen AI apps within the organization. And while the last challenge really is an IT and operations challenge, the first 3, as we'll see later, are inherently talent-based challenges. Now let's turn our focus to building AI systems in production. Here we see organizations are facing challenges because while it's easy to experiment with AI, it's much harder to deploy AI into production. According to MIT Tech Review, while 76% of organizations are currently experimenting with AI, only 9% of them have Gen AI use cases in productions. And there are several reasons for this. Number 1, legal concerns. Number 2, lack of technical infrastructure. Number 3, lack of data quality. And number 4, and most importantly, lack of AI skills and culture needed to iterate and execute on AI effectively. And this last point is crucial because you need a workforce skilled enough to maneuver the regulatory landscape. You need a workforce skilled enough to scale your technical infrastructure, prioritize data quality, and work effectively with AI. Now, the second major development I want to talk to you about today is how models are becoming stronger, faster, and cheaper. First, we saw incredible innovation and progress in proprietary models from Google, Anthropic, and OpenAI, whether through their multimodality, their increased reasoning capabilities, massive context length windows, increased speed, or cheaper output. And then additionally, we now have incredibly performant open source models like Meta's Llama 3, Databricks DBRX model, Snowflake's Arctic model, and many more players are entering the open source sea. And these open source models are giving the private models a run for their money across various use cases. And this is all a testament to the increasing strength of the open source AI ecosystem. Now, the explosion of AI adoption in the enterprise and the proliferation and improvement of Gen AI models today leads us to our third discussion point, which is how the skills agenda is evolving. We've outlined earlier the challenges associated with the adoption of AI in the enterprise. At DataCamp, we believe that the majority of these challenges are inherently skill-related. It's because as an organization, you need a workforce that has the skills necessary to deal with hallucinated output, that knows how to use AI responsibly, that takes data privacy and data quality seriously, and that has the skills to build your technical infrastructure. And if you look at the workforce from a bird's eye view, everyone needs some form of AI upskilling or reskilling, depending on their role, from developers and data scientists to business leaders and product managers, and to every frontline worker within the organization. In fact, the majority of leaders and employees agree. 67% of white-collar workers expect training on ethical AI or how to approach data privacy and customer data. However, only 23% of employees receive this training. In our data and AI literacy report, we've interviewed more than 550 leaders on the state of data and AI skills within their organization. And 62% of leaders believe their organization has an AI literacy gap. 75% of leaders believe AI ethics should be mandatory training for everyone within the organization. And most interestingly, 70% of leaders believe that Gen AI will reduce the barrier to working with data, which puts even more pressure on the importance of data fluency and data literacy in this context. So with that said, I also want to take a moment to discuss how DataCamp is evolving to meet the pressing need for data and AI skills as we progress through this paradigm shift. What I'll discuss in this section is number one, how the DataCamp curriculum is evolving to address the pressing need for AI skills. Number two, how AI is helping learners on DataCamp learn faster. And number three, how DataCamp Workspace was refounded on AI and is now called DataCamp DataLab. But let's start with the curriculum. Within every organization, everyone needs some form of AI upskilling or reskilling, and it depends on their role. For data scientists and developers, they need to learn the latest open source models or AI APIs. And developers in specific have always needed to upskill to ensure they're keeping up with the times. However, as AI becomes mainstream, every engineer today will need to become an AI engineer and pick up skills that go beyond creating rule-based deterministic systems. Then, business leaders and data product managers need to learn how to scope AI use cases that drive value. And everyone else within the organization needs to have a good understanding how AI works, how to best prompt AI models, responsible AI best practices, and a lot more. So I'm very proud to announce that over the past year, DataCamp has released over 80 projects, courses, code-alongs covering the entire spectrum of AI skills for everyone within an organization. And that AI curriculum was curated by our team alongside the best instructors in the world to ensure that you reach AI proficiency as quickly as possible. Now let's start with a curriculum aimed at data scientists and developers. Over the past year, we've released dozens of courses, projects, and code-alongs focused on key tools and technologies such as LangChain, the OpenAI API, Hugging Face, and tons of other tools that are growing to become the de facto stack for building AI applications. For business leaders and data product managers, we've released key data and AI literacy content that helps specifically this audience understand how to approach AI within their organization, whether that is our AI ethics course or Understanding GDPR course, our guide to monetizing AI products, and so much more. And for everyone else, we've released new courses on prompt engineering, understanding AI concepts, and a new AI fundamentals certification. And as you can see from what's shown on the screen here, whether these courses are conceptual or technical, they are all interactive right in the browser, so you and your team can focus on learning by doing. Now, the next thing I want to discuss is the set of AI features that are making DataCamp a better platform to learn on. Over the past year, our team has been hard at work integrating useful AI features into DataCamp to make the experience better than ever. So think of our DataCamp AI assistant, our AI assistant error explanations, the solution code explanation, the ability to review what you recently learned, and so much more. Let's maybe zoom in on error explanation. Since DataCamp's inception, our goal has always been to build a platform that reacts to your work in the flow of learning, providing you with instant feedback and help. And with LLMs, we're now able to take this content to the next level and provide you with detailed feedback on why your code is running into errors. The last thing I want to talk about is how DataCamp Workspace has been refounded on AI and is now called DataLab. When we first launched DataCamp Workspace, our vision was to build a collaborative platform that makes doing data work as wonderful and streamlined as learning on DataCamp is. Since then, our team has added new features, made the platform more stable, and introduced AI code generation and error explanation. Next, we created an interface to do data work that is easy to use for everyone, regardless of their skill level. And that is why DataCamp Workspace is now DataLab. DataLab lets you connect to your company data and switch from chat to code all in real time, right in your browser. So whether you are a casual user who only uses Gen AI tools to analyze data, or a more sophisticated user who needs to edit and write code yourself, DataLab will make you more productive. Now that we've discussed how the industry is shifting and how DataCamp will help you and your team prepare for the shifts ahead, let's talk about Radar. Many of the themes we covered in today's opening session are going to be exactly what we'll discuss over the 2 upcoming days. And we have a stellar lineup of awesome guests from organizations such as Hugging Face, Pinecone, Mother Duck, Replit, GitHub, the US Air Force, the US Department of State, and so many more. Everyone is here to talk to you about the future of data and AI. And I'm so excited about the next 2 days. Really looking forward to watch the sessions. Thank you for joining us and enjoy the show.